Hello, this is going to be chapter 17, and integrate hypothesis-driven A/B testing into our daily work by Andrew Oborn, Danica Christensen, and Rachel Bixel. In this presentation, we're going to be covering defining the why of features, the history of A/B testing, A/B in feature testing and releases, and also A/B in feature planning. A common result in software projects is that developers work on features for months or years at a time. There are several releases within this time frame. However, there is little done to confirm whether the desired business outcomes are being met. This can lead to other problems down the road. To try and combat this problem, a few questions should be asked. Should we build this? And why should we build this? Once these questions can be answered effectively, we should then work on as many cheap experiments as possible to validate our intended feature. There are other techniques such as hypothesis-driven development, customer acquisition, funnels, and A/B testing, which will be discussed later on in this presentation. Intuit and its founder, Scott Cook, have been advocates of experimentation in development for quite some time. Cook is of the opinion that employees who run the system, given the freedom to experiment, will come up with a better conclusion than an executive can. Intuit has installed a rampant innovation and experimentation culture, and they have increased their number of experiments per year tenfold. They have also made their deployments fast and safe, which allows them to be deployed anytime, including during peak busy periods.
The history of A/B testing began with one of two chief marketing strategies, called direct response marketing. The other main strategy is called mass marketing or brand marketing, which focuses on putting as many ads as possible in front of consumers in order to make an impression and influence them to buy things. Direct response marketing techniques require thousands of postcards and flyers to be delivered through the mail system. These pieces of mail prompted the consumer to accept offers or place orders by calling a number or sending in a return piece of mail. Experiments were conducted by altering various aspects of the offer, such as design, typography, and packaging. Offers that gained the most responses were carefully noted for future use. Since each experiment entailed new designs and print runs, these experiments cost tens of thousands of dollars, as well as weeks to months of waiting for responses to the thousands of mailed offers. If these tests were successful, however, costs could be easily covered through improved conversion rates. Today, websites are commonly used for A/B testing. Two versions of the site are created, and when someone visits the site, one of the options is randomly selected for viewing, either a control, which is referred to as A, or a treatment, referred to as B. Statistical analysis is then used to discover if there is a notable difference between the two outcomes. Some experiments may include changing the size or color of important buttons or reducing response time on a site in order to evaluate potential ups and downs in revenue. These tests also give a better understanding of the dollar value on performance improvements. A/B tests are also known as online controlled experiments and split tests. Additionally, when these tests are run with more than one variable, they are known as multivariate testing. This makes it possible to study how the variables interact together. When tests are run, it is important to carefully evaluate the results, even when the tested features initially seem like good ideas. Ronnie Kohavi, manager of analysis and experimentation at Microsoft, noted in one instance that after evaluating test results for key metric improvements, it was learned that only a third of the results improved the key metrics, while parts of the ineffective two-thirds actually made things worse. This example shows that when tests and user research are properly implemented, features that add value to the codebase can be built, found, and implemented, avoiding the possibility of a complex system, which occurs when ideas are integrated without proper testing and analysis. The cost of upkeep is also minimal compared to the potential cost of maintenance on a complex or inoperable codebase. This is why it is so important to integrate A/B testing into feature testing.
Fast A/B testing can be done using feature toggles and delivering multiple codes to our customers at the same time. Feature toggles allows us to control the percentage of users that are shown a control or experiment version. For example, half of our clients can be shown the control and the other half can be shown a promotion. In our experiment, we would then compare the number of purchases between both groups. Etsy has made their experimentation framework open source, which includes A/B testing and online wrap-ups to throttle exposures to experiments. In regards to their experimentation journey, Lacey Rhodes at Etsy stated that A/B testing allows us to say a feature is worth working on as soon as it is underway. Once we have A/B feature testing and releasing, we need to have our product owners see each feature as a hypothesis and releases as experiments to disprove or prove our hypothesis. Creating experiments should be designed in the overall customer acquisition funnel. Barry O'Reilly stated we can frame hypotheses in development and in this following form. First, we believe that doing something will result in an outcome. And lastly, we will have confidence to proceed when we see a specific outcome. Doing this approach, we work in smaller units and get validation that what we are creating is giving us the expected outcome. If not, we find alternative routes to get the result. Yahoo Answers is a great example of the benefits of faster life cycles. In 2009, Yahoo Answers user engagement was declining while user growth and revenues were flattening. They also were only releasing every 4 weeks. To compete with their competitors like Facebook, Yahoo Answers increased to multiple deployments a week. This also led to an increase in experimentation. Over 12 months, they got their weekly visits to 72%, increased user engagement by 3 times, and increased their revenues. To keep their success, they focused on the top metrics of time to first answer, time to best answers, how many answers were users creating, and how often did users have to search again to get an answer. Yahoo Answers showed that the faster we can integrate and iterate feedback, the faster we can learn. This then results in bigger impact. In this presentation, we talked about experimental techniques and how Anut used an experiment approach to create success, the beginnings of A/B testing through direct response marketing, using A/B testing to show control and experimental features to our users, using feature toggles to control the percent of users seeing a feature, and lastly, integrating A/B testing into development planning to receive greater results, as shown with Yahoo Answers.